To assemble your KeNalu paddle, you'll need a tape measure, pencil, masking tape, electrical tape, a hacksaw or chop saw with a masonry or steel cutting blade, 100 or 120 grit sandpaper, a heat gun or hairdryer, and a wet rag. Before you begin, you'll need your overall paddle length. There are a few things to consider here. It mostly depends on how you intend to use your paddle. Racers and surfers have different preferences, and some of the old standards don't take things like board thickness into account. If you're unsure, it's best to ask around and do some research. We recommend starting longer rather than too short. Test it, try it out. You can always trim it down. However, if you do go too short, we still have you covered. Our extended Ergo T handle is available on our website. This extended handle can easily add back some length. Once you decide on your desired length, measure your blade and handle from the end of the component to the ferrule and add those two dimensions. Subtract that sum from your desired overall paddle length to arrive at the cut length of the shaft. Simply measure to the general point on the shaft and wrap the center point with masking tape. Wrapping the cut area with masking tape helps avoid chips and splinters that may occur while cutting. Measure again and mark the exact dimension. The next step is to check your math and measurements. You know what they say, measure twice, cut once. Now that you have your mark, here's a tip. Position your pencil at the mark and roll the shaft to create a consistent cut line all the way around. You are now ready to cut your shaft. A chop saw, as described before, makes this step fast and easy. But if all you have is a hacksaw, work slowly to score the cut mark as you rotate the shaft. Once you have a good groove, finish it off. Knock down any burrs and smooth the edge with sandpaper, inside and out. The next thing we like to do is tape off each side of the joint with electrical tape. About a 1/16 of an inch off the edge will do. Using electrical tape here is important because the heat from the heat gun will melt the adhesive on other kinds of tape, and it makes a mess. All KeNalu blades and handles ship with our hot melt adhesive pre-applied. But if you're looking to swap or replace parts, you may purchase more on our website. Let's begin with the blade and shaft. Using a heat gun or hairdryer set on high, simply warm the adhesive for a few moments. Be sure not to overheat. It also helps to warm the shaft to keep the adhesive from hardening too quickly. Once the adhesive softens, insert one into the other with a twisting back and forth motion to spread the adhesive evenly until the component is completely seated to the ferrule. Quickly check the alignment. Blade and shaft logos should be on the same side. Once everything's lined up and fully inserted, reheat the bead of adhesive and carefully remove the bead with something flexible. An old credit card works great. Remove the tape and remaining adhesive. Warm the joint briefly and smooth it over with a wet rag. While it's still warm, we like to finish the joint with a wrap of electrical tape. The same process is now applied to the handle assembly. Be sure to align the handle with the flat of the blade while the adhesive is still warm. Any additional minor adjustments can be made by reheating the joint. The same is true for swapping or replacing parts. Simply heat the joint and pull the components apart. And there you have it. Your custom KeNalu stand-up paddle has been assembled and you're ready to go.